Sports bettors, we are going to have a field day on PrizePicks and Underdog Fantasy. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Now we'll do this PrizePicks Taco Tuesday here in a second, but let's start out with Underdog Fantasy, which I'm going to be talking more about. Why are we going to talk more about Underdog Fantasy? Well, take a look at PrizePicks, right? This is fascinating. Any power play, 20 to win 100 for a 3-pick power play. You go to Underdog Fantasy, you're getting 500, right, to win 2.5K in profit. So if we go, so I already gave out this pick. Peralta, over half of a hit. Deus, over half of a hit. Mike Trout, under 1.5 bases. I hope you tailed it. It's really good. It's really good. But anyways, what we want to do is we want to get back into it. So on PrizePicks, 3 picks, right? You can see right here, you're getting 20 to win 120. On PrizePicks, it's 20 to win 100. So payouts, as opposed to getting plus 400 on PrizePicks for a 3-pick entry, you're getting plus 500. So that means a lot. Like in terms of the math behind PrizePicks, and there will be a full video about the math behind PrizePicks, how PrizePicks works, how their payouts work. But for 3-pick entries, you definitely need Underdog Fantasy. So use the link below, sign up. It helps us out, but at the same time, you just get such better odds, right? You're getting plus 500, 20 to win 100 in profit for a 3-pick entry, as opposed to 20 to win 80 in profit, which you see on PrizePicks. And this is misleading, right? It's not 20 to win 100 in profit. PrizePicks is not plus 500 odds. This is 20 to win 80 in profit plus your $20 stake back, right? So it's just plus 400 odds. But anyways, what we know, right, is because we're getting plus 500 on Underdog Fantasy for any 3-pick entry, the implied odds you're getting is roughly minus 122. Right? It's kind of like they're juicing everything to minus 122, minus 122, which is what you'll see on OddsJam, right? So on OddsJam, you're able to browse odds for any game you want to bet on. It's 100% free. And what you'll notice is for a 2-pick entry, right, as we've gone through many times, the implied juice being charged is minus 137 on PrizePicks and minus 137 on Underdog. So you really should be looking for 3 picks. You would much rather go with a 3-pick entry on Underdog as opposed to a 2-pick because the payouts are much better. 3-pick is the money spot on Underdog, right? For making money off these DFS platforms, Underdog 3-pick, right? You only need 3 picks. Just find 3 sharp picks. And again, it's not that hard because PrizePicks and Underdog Fantasy, they don't vary payouts depending on if you select like the over or the under. So that's very advantageous to us as the sports bettor, as you'll see here in a second. So what we know, so again, browsing odds on OddsJam, any sport you want to look at, any market is completely free. So browse away, look for value. So why do we like this Dylan Bundy bet? Let's take a look. Let's go back to OddsJam. Is we're getting, right, and this is also great on PrizePicks. So let's actually go to PrizePicks right now. Let's take our Taco Tuesday, and then let's throw in Bundy over 2.5. So they're only going to give me $10 on this, but we'll go with this, right? So this is our Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks. But anyways, right? So Underdog Fantasy plus 500 odds, right? Which is why the juice is minus 122 on PrizePicks. As we've gone through in this sheet, they're only giving you payout of plus 400 on a 3-pick entry. So it's like they're charging minus 141 juice, which you can see here. So anyways, let's go back here. Why do we love this play on Underdog as well as PrizePicks? Well, take a look at the market. What you'll notice is the sportsbooks, Pinnacle Sportsbook, DraftKings, literally every sportsbook is pricing this bet, from minus 143 to minus 164. So this is why sports betting is so fascinating to me, is like every sportsbook is kind of an independent data point in the market of what the odds should be. So if we go to, this, for example, and we go to pitching prop bets, we're going with Dylan Bundy over 2.5. Like, This is minus 155 on Caesars, exactly as OddsJam says. And again, like on Underdog Fantasy, they're not varying your payout depending on if you select the over or the under, but all the sports books have the over heavily juiced, which means the over is a lot more likely to hit. And it's not like it's just one sports book. Every single sports book has the over for Dylan Bundy heavily juiced. Bet Online, a very sharp bookmaker, is the most bullish on Dylan Bundy. Their pricing is over 2.5 strikeouts at minus 164. Right? So sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds. So because the over's a lot more juiced, the over's a lot more likely to hit. And you can kind of quantify that with a no vig odds calculator, as we've done in, tons of other videos. So I don't necessarily want to dwell on it. But regardless, sports betting isn't that complicated. Like, people try to make it super complicated. Look for value, look for mispriced bets, and then slam them, right? Here, we're getting a bet at the implied price of minus 122. When every sportsbook is pricing this minus one, in the minus 150 to 64 area. Like, that's insane value. Looking at basically any sportsbook, this minus 122 is a ton of value. So you don't need to win every bet as a sports bettor or as a DFS player on PrizePicks and Underdog. You just need to win enough to beat the vig, beat the juice, right? So this is the first bet. You want to be all over, right? So that's kind of how OddsJam works too, right? Constantly scanning the markets, PrizePicks, sports books, everything, updating odds in real time so sports bettors can find value and get the best line. It's pretty simple, right? It's cutting through all the BS in the sports betting industry. Oh, Dylan Bundy, his girlfriend dumped him. None of that matters. It's all about understanding the math, the data, and having that complete understanding of how it works. And that's how you find super sharp, profitable plays on Underdog Fantasy. So minus 122, clearly value. You should be all over this on Underdog, right? Or in a PrizePicks flex play, or for PrizePicks Taco Tuesday. Again, we're skipping 2 picks because there's less, value. So Mike Trout, under 1.5 bases is the second pick, but we're actually skipping it because I hit my max limit on Mike Trout on Underdog Fantasy, so I can't bet more on it. So I'm going to skip that one, but if you have, if you still didn't bet Trout, because I bet it last time, that's a good one to go with. Next one we have, Rays game. Mauricio Dubon to record a hit. Minus 122 on Underdog. Every sportsbook pricing this, minus 150 area. Tons of value. That's everything we want as a sports bettor. Sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced. Over's a lot more likely to hit, right? This guy's a lot more likely to get a hit than not get a hit. And it's very clear. Like, you don't need to know anything about this guy, right? You don't need to know anything about this player. All the sports books have the over heavily juiced. So all the action in the market is implying this guy is a lot more likely to get a hit than to not get a hit. So being able to get this bet at minus 122 odds has a mathematical profit margin of 1.91%. And, you can watch the previous OddsJam videos really breaking down the math, the profit margins. But, just think rationally, right? Just, think like someone who is new to sports betting and is skeptical, right? You want to find value in the odds. If you're placing bets at minus 155 on this guy to get a hit, when you could be getting minus 122 or minus 145, you're never going to make money sports betting. Why? Because you're getting terrible prices. You're getting ripped off, right? Same thing as being an investor, whatever, right? You never want to get ripped off. You always want to be the one finding value, not getting ripped off, right? It's a pretty rational argument. So if you're placing bets at minus 155, when their sportsbook's offering minus 140 or minus 122, you're screwed. You're never going to make money. So what we'll see here is once we go to the Rays game, is what we'll do is we'll find this guy to get a hit, Dubon. Never heard of him, but we're betting on him. That's for sure. So our parlay now comes out to plus 171 on Caesars. What are we getting on Underdog? Well, what we're getting is We want Dubon. So let's reload this. I'm not sure if I'm spelling wrong. But anyways, we're going to be getting plus 500, or you would be getting, if there's 2 picks, right? You're getting 20 to win 60. That's what you're going to be getting on Underdog or PrizePicks for any 2-pick entry. What you're going to be getting on Caesars right here for this is 20 to win 54, so lower. So we're getting better value on PrizePicks. So the final play I have, Dodgers are losing. So the final play I have is going to be Rivas to record a hit. Once again, ridiculous value. So if we go to the Marlins game, we can take a look at what this comes out to on the sports books. And you can see right here, I already bet this, so I'll show you my little bet slip. So here we have it, right? Dubon to record a hit. Dylan Bundy over 2.5 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts, man, you got it. Rivas to get a hit. 3 picks, all overs. We're going with overs today. 3 picks to win $3,000. Under 1.5, over. So could be a big day on PrizePicks. Potentially. We'll have to see how that goes. But what we can do last is just check out, okay, let's assume we added this last one into our parlay. On Caesars, what would the odds be? I forget this guy's name. Rivas. We're only getting plus 342. On Caesars. We're getting plus 500, 158 cents of improvement on Underdog Fantasy. Right? Plus 342, plus 500, pretty clearly getting some freaking insane value that you want to be all over. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let's make some money.